Hello, hello. I'm Chris Thomas, and this is Land Flipping 101. You can learn how to earn your financial freedom through land investing, even if you're a complete beginner with no experience. Today, I don't really have a specific agenda. I would like to hear from you. So type in your questions related to getting started in the land investing business. Hi, Jason. So I'm based in Nashville, Tennessee, where I've been a real estate investor since 1999. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. My husband and I ran a business together for the 17 years until it was sold in 2018. Hi, Jameson. Hi, Renee. Lilith, how you doing? Glad you guys could join me. I'm sitting outside and there's some bugs in front of me. My experience in real estate is varied. I've owned single-family home rentals. I have fixed and flipped property. At one time, I was managing 50 foreclosure properties as rentals. I've invested in tax foreclosure auctions, and now I flip land full-time. And I absolutely love it because I can work the whole business online, allowing me to be where I am today in Minneapolis, visiting family, or be anywhere for that matter. I can earn 100% ROI in just a few months without ever having to see the property in person or even make improvements to it. I just think there is nothing easier, nothing. Hey, Mike Jones. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jaron, Isabel. I'm so excited all of you could be here today. I'm going to be here live every Friday. Usually I'm only here for about 10 or 15 minutes, but if you have any pressing questions, go ahead and drop it into the chat, and I would love to hear from you and discuss some stuff with you that you want to know about. This week I've had a great response to my mailer. There have been dozens of hater calls, but I have received 3 signed contracts from property owners interested in selling to me, and I have 2 more that have said that they will send in the purchase agreement. So I would call that a great week. Hey, Bill Tanner, you made it. Alexis, how you doing? So yeah, we got an abundance of hater calls this week. We targeted higher end properties offering pretty cheap prices. And so one caller called and left a message. He said we gave him a pretty good laugh. You know, I always appreciate it when someone is nice about responding to my letter, because some people get really offended and get really angry and really upset. I've had listen to these messages, you know, like on my Google Voice, I can see the transcription. So if I see that it's negative, I oftentimes won't even listen to it. But this one guy, he gave me a good laugh. He said we gave him a good laugh because the offer price that we gave him was $57,000 and change. And I can't remember how many acres it was, but he said, I just got a great laugh out of that because I just sold the property for $580,000. I mean, yeah, I mean, that would have been a great deal if we could have gotten it, right? But obviously he's like, no. So, I mean, you know, we are specifically targeting people in a situation, people who don't want their property. And obviously this is not our market, this person, but I appreciated his laughing about it instead of getting upset, because that just takes energy away from people and nobody needs that. Some of the responses we got are just not fit for public hearing. And I'll tell you part of what I got this morning that made me laugh. It said, the guy left a message and he said, you know, I got this phone number off the bathroom wall. And he said, I probably shouldn't even say this, but he said, got this phone number off the bathroom wall. And I said, I could call it for a good time. All right, that's how I'll leave it. That's not what he said, but it was pretty funny. It was not fit for public display. But, you know, we keep making these offers because some people, you know, they just want to get rid of their property, and we're happy to help them accomplish their goals. I wish I could get a deal that had that kind of a spread like I explained a minute ago. Okay, let me go in here and see if there are some questions that I can answer real quick. Isabel says, I want that kind of freedom. You can have it. If I can do this, you can do it. Trust me, please. You can do it. Sometimes fear holds us back. I don't know what holds you back, Isabel, but sometimes fear can hold me back. Mike says, finding an area in your state to find deals in, such as selling lots. Oh, Mike, well, I'm not really doing infill lots. I know how to do that. On an infill lot, you just want to look at any property that was bought and sold in the last 12 months, and then look for the ones that were bought and sold by a builder. And then you can go back and figure out, okay, this is what they paid for the lot. And if I can start sending mail to people in that area, I can offer them half the price that you know he paid. And then if you find one, you can go to that builder and say, I've got another one for you, and he'll probably buy it because you saw what he bought it for before. And then as far as what I do, which is the rural vacant land outside, usually in the rural areas, just look for areas where more properties are sold than being listed for sale, because that gives you an indication of demand, right? Because if more are sold than for sale, that's because there's a demand there. Hope that helps. Okay, I mentioned the targeting infill lots. Oh, hold on, let's see. It keeps jumping around on me here, the questions. What CRM, Jameson says, what CRM do I use? That's a great question. When starting out, I just used Excel spreadsheet, and then my partner and I would share it through Google Drive. But now I've switched over to Trello, and I have a pretty sweet situation with Trello. I really like it. I love it because it has automation, and I can bring in my VAs to my Trello boards, and they can participate in the activity on my properties. As things come up, I can just assign it to them right there, and it sends them an email automatically, and it sends them a checklist, and I really love it. Okay, Renee says, my question is about which contract do I have to use? I'm licensed, but I get told I can use a contract, and then I get told I have to use the state realtor contract, but I would be entering as a principal, not as an agent. Well, Renee, I have my real estate license in Tennessee, and it is tricky because we're held to a higher standard. I'm not practicing real estate. I'm not representing other people. I'm only representing myself. And so when I'm buying property, I'm using the contract, which any of you can get for free. It's my sample letter to owners with a copy of the purchase agreement. It's the second page, because I send out a 2-page blind offer mailer. So I just send that when I'm buying, and that is perfectly fine. Now, if I were receiving an offer from someone, then they're going to be sending me the state form, and so then I'll use the state form, and then I'll do all the disclosures that are required, personal interest disclosure. I mean, you know, as an agent, all the disclosures that are required. I still file all that paperwork, but that is only when I'm selling the property. I don't have to do that when I'm buying it. I hope that helps. If not, send me a private message and we can talk more about it. Lilith asks, do you use Propstream? No, I never have used Propstream. I know a lot of house wholesalers and house flippers use that, but I use DataTree, but DataTree does require a 1-year subscription, so I'm really just using the tool called Priced. It's PRYCD.com, and it's relatively new, but I find their pricing strategies really work well on the markets that I'm targeting, which is 5 acres and more. And I don't have to have a subscription with Priced, so I love that. But DataTree is where they get their data, and to me that's the best source of data. But I know there are other aggregators. I've just never used Propstream, so I can't really speak about Propstream. As far as legal entity, I'm just using, I assume your name is Jesus. Looks like Jesus, which I'm a fan of Jesus. But you asked what legality or what legal entity do you recommend, LLC, sole proprietor, or incorporation? I'm an LLC. I think that's sufficient. When you're sold versus for sale are only off by 50. These comps took my partner, Jesse, almost 2 hours, but he said it was totally worth it because of the given amount of property on this one deal we were looking at. He was comparing 16 different properties to come up with a comparable price. He was kind of doing an average. And so we got this one property under contract for $28,000, and we are probably going to get it listed for $119,000. That is going to be a $91,000 profit if we sold it at that price. So we're super excited about that one, and I was excited for Jesse, my partner, because he did this comp analysis. He has this elaborate spreadsheet, and he looks at all the different websites, and he dropped all the comps into a spreadsheet, and then he does averages to figure out like what should our pricing be and how should, you know, where should we market it? I mean, for what price? And he did one the other day that came up to only $55 difference between what he thought the comp price was and what he could see other for sale properties were per acre and stuff. So I was very impressed with that. Jason says, does Data Tree give you the owner's mailing address, or do you have to skip owner's mailing address? I don't do any skip tracing at all, Jason. I get inquiries from people regularly in my inbox on Facebook that they want to skip trace for me, but I don't do skip tracing. Okay, wait, let me back up. I do skip tracing if I get a mailer back in the mail that says it's an undeliverable address. I do skip trace for that, but it's a very small percentage of the total mailers that I'm doing. Okay, let's see, property pipeline. I was just gonna let you know, I had to look myself because I've been really busy and I sometimes lose track of where I am in the business, but I thought it would be good to tell you where I am on my pipeline, if you will. So right now I only have 6 properties for sale, which is great. 6 properties are out there being marketed for sale right now. And then I have 6 in the due diligence process. So they're about to be listed in the next probably week or so. And then I got 3 new agreements this week. And two more people have told me they're sending agreements to me. So I was super excited about that. There was a question earlier from Rick Davis asking me to talk about the mail. For example, he said, can you share the company you use to send out your mail? Why do you use that company? And have you ever used postcards? Why or why not? And thanks for that question, Rick. You will hear the terms blind and neutral in reference to the types of offers to send or letters to send. And the main difference is that a neutral letter is just going fishing for sellers that might be interested in selling, whereas a blind offer is really sending them an offer right off the bat. And I use blind offers because it removes the bottleneck of having the seller contact you, then you having to price the property, then send them an offer in a second letter. To me, that's just a lot more work. We have the technology and resources now to make a general per acre price for the seller's property, and then they can decide to either throw away my letter and then I'll never hear from them, or they could call me about the offer. And when they call me about the offer, then I run a more targeted comparison of the actual property, and then I can renegotiate the price if I need to. I actually did go, I do use Rocket Print and Mail, and I did go to them last week and ask them if I could get a special deal for referring people to them, because I do talk about them all the time and I absolutely love them. And so they are giving you a great price. I don't have all the pricing here because there's a lot of different levels depending on how many records you buy and all that, or how many pieces you send at a time. They do like to bulk sell you the mail so that you will be in the habit of regularly sending mail, because that is the secret to your success in this business, is to send mail every single week. So I'm going to give you, let's see if I can drop this in the chat. I'm going to give you the link to Rocket Print and Mail. Let me know if you got that. Hopefully that worked. Rick, thanks for the question.